they're off and running for the Irish Independent Arkle Challenge Trophy chase. 13 fences over a pretty quick 2 miles here for these novices. Stagecoach Pearl and Dan Breen will rise first and second, and he got in a bit tight there, did Dan Breen. Finian's Rainbow on the outside is going alongside them, followed in the green jacket by West with the Wind, and on the inside is Relt Dove, who takes that in 5th place, with Gazeo jumping up between horses. Captain Chris Medamit. Rock Noir held up towards the rear of the field on the inside of Giorgio Quercus in the pink cap. So settling down then, having jumped the first 2 fences and coming up towards the rising ground here to the 3rd. And it's Stagecoach Pearl and Shane Byrne, who touched down with a narrow advantage. Slight error at the back there on the outside by West with the Wind, but nothing too serious. On to the 4th, Stagecoach Pearl from Dan Breen on the inside, Finian's Rainbow in 3rd on the outside, and tanking along with them. A gap of 4 lengths then to Gazeo. Races on the inside of Captain Chris, with the green jacket of West with the Wind held up behind him, and then Relt Dove on the rail, the blue with the white crossbelts as they approach the uphill fence. Medamit's orange colours come next, and looking on from the back of the field, Rock Noir and Giorgio Quercus. There was a mistake there by West with the Wind, and just gets a bit of a niggle as they take the run to the top of the hill. Heading down the far side of the course now onto the next 4 fences, and it's Stagecoach Pearl cutting out a decent gallop here from Dan Breen on the inside. Finian's Rainbow over it in 3rd. Gazeo was touching down in 4th on the inside there for Timmy Murphy, with Captain Chris on his outside. Medamit waited with Chock Thornton. Rock Noir's manoeuvred over to the outside now as they took the water jump. Relt Dove and then Giorgio Quercus, and last of all is West with the Wind, who's just losing touch now from them as they go towards the first open ditch of the race. And a terrific leap there by Finian's Rainbow. Not such a good jump though by the grey Stagecoach Pearl. And it's Dan Breen and Finian's Rainbow 1 and 2. Stagecoach Pearl in 3rd place, as they take that now with Gazeo making up ground, and just looked as though as a Medamit might have missed that fence out there on the far side as they turn. Captain Chris is making good headway, but Finian's Rainbow leads them to the top of the hill to 4 out in the open ditch. From Dan Breen 2nd, Gazeo, Captain Chris back in 4th place. They're followed by Relt Dove. Medamit is next. There's a mistake there by Gazeo. Captain Chris not all that fluent at it either, and Medamit is feeling the warmth of Chock Thornton's whip now and making heavy weather of picking up these leaders. Rock Noir has dropped away, so too has Stagecoach Pearl, and tailed off is West with the Wind. So Finian's Rainbow and Barry Geraghty leading by a couple of lengths now to Dan Breen, Tom Scudamore in 2nd place. Gazeo, Timmy Murphy stalking on the outside, with Captain Chris next as they make their way down the hill towards the 3rd last. Relt Dove. Medamit is responding under Chock's urgings on the outside. Here's 3 out. Finian's Rainbow, terrific leap there, and he's really in full gears now. It looks over his shoulder, Barry Geraghty. Finian's Rainbow from the driven Dan Breen. On the outside is Gazeo, followed by Captain Chris, who now starts to stay on as they come down towards the turn, towards the home straight. No fence here at this point this year. They've moved that to the home straight. Still 2 to jump. Finian's Rainbow by 2 lengths. From in 2nd place, Captain Chris. Relt Dove is 3rd. And then comes Gazeo. Medamit's trying to stay on. Here's the 2nd last. Finian's Rainbow taken on by Captain Chris, who's really motoring down the outside. 1 more fence to go in the Arkle. Captain Chris and Finian's Rainbow together. Nothing between them as they settle down and scrap it up. On the near side, it's Captain Chris and Richard Johnson from Finian's Rainbow. Barry Geraghty, they've kicked clear of Relt Dove and Medamit, and this is going to go to Captain Chris in the colours of Diana Waitley for Philip Hobbs and Dickie Johnson. Wins the Arkle from Finian's Rainbow 2nd, and then Relt Dove 3rd, Medamit 4th, never could quite get there, and then a bit of a gap to the Gazeo, Giorgio Quercus and Dan Breen, Rock Noir, and finally Stagecoach Pearl.
Well, you pay your trainer to make the correct decision, and Philip Hobbs has certainly made the correct decision by putting Captain Chris into the Arkle this year. He has won it for Philip Hobbs and Richard Johnson and the Waitleys, and he has won it really, really well, ahead of